Carl, we always start this thing late. Should we start early?
Like flash, cold grinding, winds blowing tough. Chicago nights burn the grid unrough. Animation roars with the fire inside. Passion-filled strikes breaking truth through the tide. Bear down, rise up, feel the thunder rolling. Bears pride from the heart, no one's controlling. Claw your way through the roar of the crowd. Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.
Carl, what's up, buddy?
Did I get that first down celebration right yet?
How does it go? I don't quite have it. They push out,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, but you're looking at me, right? So if I went like that.
Okay, and explain the background behind that because they both of them, several people took credit for it. I think DJ Moore is really the one who did it first, but you got Jade Walker taking credit for it. You got Lamade Zacchaeus taking credit for it. You got DJ Moore taking credit for it. Do you remember where it came from?
I know the actual owner or the inspiration was a combination of Kobe Bryant and
That's right, Kobe
LeBron
Bryant.
James. I think Kobe did it first.
But
it's Kobe and LeBron. I remember seeing them doing it, call it together, while they're on Team USA. So very little fun thing for there. But as far as the origin on the Bears, my brain, without any research, wants to give stock to OZ on that.
No,
but
that's not
I don't
right.
know who it is. I know Kyle Monungai is not a fan of me saying that's OZ, but
DJ is the first one who did it in the game, but OZ says he did it first in practice. Monongai's taking credit. DJ Moore's everybody's taking credit. Either way, it's kind of fun. The whole league is taking notice.
yeah, I was gonna say I watched the Dallas Cowboys game, not this game on Monday night where Evil Disney was paywalling it, but
What the
I
F
think
is
2
this?
3 weeks ago.
There's you, right? Is this Nick or is that you too?
No, that's me.
So you got two. Are you just trying
I'm not actively using Diane Spine right now.
Are you trying to boost the numbers or what are you trying to do here?
Honestly, yeah, never mind. That's a very good idea. Let me throw that up. Let me throw that up here real quick.
I just
Some,
saw both of
audience
those.
retention.
I saw both of those and I was like, Carl, what is this crap?
Hold on.
Hey, those of you who are tuning in, Carl Bajan is here. Got to give a big props to Carl for handling that last week. I watched it over, and it didn't end up as bad as I thought. But I got to apologize. I have, seriously, some of the best internet there can be. It's a business account. They shouldn't have let that happen. But it was a crap show, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart. You all deserve a refund for the hour of time, the wasted time of your lives for it. But I'm glad you're back and you're here. Do appreciate every one of you being here. We got Robin in the chat. We got True Pilgrim. We got both Carl's accounts. We got Foster. Foster's here. Watched a little bit last night, Foster.
Very good to see Foster in here.
Longhorn Jeff, Florida Bears fan. And I'm not going to know all your guys' real names with the way YouTube does this now, but On Q 4517. We got Fishing 702. We got Relentless Mikey. Always a good buddy. We got Steve Rogers. And we got Faking Foster. This is you, Carl?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I wish I was smart enough to do little superlatives for Foster and PJ and Dan.
Foster's third account.
Literally.
We appreciate all of you guys tuning in. This is going to be more interactive. If you haven't seen, the first poll is already up. We're going to do a little bit more with the chat today. Carlos told me I ignore you guys too much, and he's probably right. I'm a dick when it comes to the podcast. I try to get to too many points, prove my point too much, but I got other times that I can do that during the week. This is the live show. So, Carl, you're helping me out. You're giving me some good advice, and I appreciate it. I always love you being here, and I'm glad we're doing this on a regular basis. You're a good guy.
Good to be here, as well, and nice to see everyone in the chat. So we'll definitely have a fun show, to say the least.
What's up, Creighton? We love when Creighton tunes in as well. CJG also here. If you guys haven't seen the first poll, it's based off of the weather report. Cold weather potentially coming. And the forecast says precipitation of 30%. and it's going to be rainy or snowy throughout the games. Other forecasts say up to 90%, so it could change. You know how weathermen are. They always change these things as the week goes along, and maybe it'll be a bright, sunny day by the time it gets there. But this could be the first Chicago football game of the year. The poll is derived off of that. What's the coldest you would go to a game? Do you have any fun cold weather games? I got one to get to. I'll just start with mine. My biggest memory is back in the days with Clay Matthews, Aaron Rodgers. My brother and I wanted to go. It was 2000 and it had to be 13. Was it 12? It was 12. 2012. And Clay Matthews sacked, man, who was it way back then? I don't know. It wasn't Jay Cutler. Whoever the quarterback was, I apologize. I should have all these timelines in my head, but when you get on the live show, you kind of forget things. Whoever, we lost.
You got all those guys, though, like Jimmy Clausen and something like that, so you could have gotten one of those off-the-wall quarterbacks.
No, it was a mainstream one. I think it was Jay Cutler, but I don't want to speak out of my mouth. Have my foot in my mouth. Who was the Bears?
Right after Grossman, it was like Orton for a very short time, turned into Jay Cutler for a long time.
It was Jay Cutler, 2012. I thought it was, and we lost the game. If you go back and look at it, you'll see we lost the game. And Clay Matthews sacked Jay Cutler we were in the end zone. We were just behind the goalpost, and he got sacked at like the 2-yard line. And Clay Matthews got up and did the discount double check right to our fans. And man, people were throwing bottles at him. I wasn't. I was a good boy. But that game was 20-something degrees, and it was freaking cold. We were buying those souvenirs. I'll have them sometimes. This is from a game, too. This isn't the souvenir. We were buying the souvenir hot chocolates. We bought 5 each through that game just so we'd have something warm to hang on to during that game. It was miserable, but I loved it. I loved being there.
Yeah, the thing that comes to my mind regarding Soldier Field and little antics like that. If you remember way back when a certain Reggie Bush took a screen pass for a house call in the NFC Championship game, and man, if that guy wasn't already cold, he got covered in beer, bottles, whatever they had, they threw at him. So, didn't they have a crazy something or other like that with a college football game in the last 2 years? Was it like Texas A&M, something like that? It was an SEC game. And they were so frustrated with the call that they threw everything they had, probably their shirts off.
Yeah, that was like this last year. That was
and they had to stop. They had to stop the game to clean the field up. Like that's crazy. That's some like Brazil second division of soccer stuff. So to see that at any sort of football level is hilarious to me.
Yeah. Creighton says he'll be there at -50. There was no snow at the game I went at, or they would have been throwing snowballs. But I went to a Bears game in the '90s. We were throwing snowballs. That sounds actually fun.
That sounds like a Highmark Stadium, Buffalo Bills type of situation as well. So hopefully we get to see that from that stadium one more time. Speaking of which,
Chad Speakers jumping at speed.
Very good to see Mr.
Speaker
Chad
Sports. You
Speaker
changed your name, Chad Speaker Sports. I like it.
No one. Well, maybe he modified it, but
that's right because YouTube changed the way we see it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I first saw it on BCP, ironically, and lots of people were saying, well, what'd you guys change? To my understanding, nothing. It's just a random rollout of these changes. So the only thing that you guys can do, okay, Chad says that he did change it. Fantastic.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys do have control over your handle. You can't change it very often, but it's a unique identifier, and that's why YouTube is making that change. Because if you guys are well aware of a certain Don Burr, you've seen multiple different aliases of Don Burr pop up in all of these types of Bears podcasts because he is our version of the devil, if we want to just call it that. So
I actually like Don Burr. It's kind of fun to interact.
I don't.
There's other ones of other fan bases I can get into. But hey, if any of you have a story about the cold, put it on here. I like this. Foster says December 26th, Kramer's last regular season game as a Lion. At Soldier Field, my beer and my mustache froze solid. Never again. I don't go to any. So when I go to a game in Chicago, I always go. I time it out now when it's going to be the Cubs and Bears on the same weekend, and it's always the beginning of the year now. I don't go to any cold ones anymore. That was my last cold one. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm from Vegas. I'm used to the heat. I'm not doing that cold crap. But it was fun to experience that against the Packers. I wish we won. We didn't, but it was fun.
My dad took me to a Bears-Lions game at Soldier Field. It was the game, I think, Mitchell Trubisky's rookie season, where he scrambled around at the end, got us in a position to kick a game-winning field goal, and none other than Connor Barth missed that game-winning field goal. And I
Oh.
remember having to walk all the way back up towards the Alder Planetarium. We walked back to where our car was parked, and I had prepared well. I had, I think, 2 layers of socks on, hiking boots, and still, my feet, I thought I was going to lose my toes. It was so fucking cold, because that concrete's just the worst.
Sorry, buddy.
Huh? What's going on?
Yeah, I was trying to go back and see the poll, and I hadn't muted the other screen yet, so I had to do that. All right, let's
Oh,
see.
you heard the double?
Yeah, I heard the double for a second, so that's why I said sorry, buddy. All right, most of you are faithful. No limit. I'm there no matter what. 32%. 32% say 25 degrees. 27% say 35 degrees. And 12% of you admit that you are pansies. I like it. We'll leave that one up for another minute.
Against the Rams.
Where's the
Okay.
Rams one? Ooh.
Well, Squeegee says in 1985, Bears Giants in the playoffs, 14 degrees with negative 13 wind chill. I wouldn't be able to survive that. I'd be dead.
But playoffs, I think I might endure that for the playoffs, man. I'd have to bring a layer up the clothes, and you're going to be having the hand warmers, and you're going to be having the hot chocolate like crazy, or the coffee, or whatever you want to keep yourself warm. But I'm with you. I'd probably do that for the playoffs, though. Foster says I am now a pansy.
Yeah. I have to bring my boots out of the basement.
I dig it. So I like your transition. You're talking about a kicker. I got to hurry and let's see here. Remove this one
boy.
from screen. Remove that one from screen. Add this to stage. All right, let's move this along. Carl, I'm not going to stop talking about it. He didn't get activated. We got Cairo Santos kicking for us this week. And I get it in the cold. He's used to the cold. But Jake Moody played at Michigan. What can you tell me about Michigan football in the cold?
Yeah, I mean, he looks like kind of a goof when he dresses up with his what's that thing that he wore, like a shiesty? Is that what it's called?
But at least he doesn't look like a 5'7" goof.
Right. Sure. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know why you're acting like the Michigan fan on the screen here, but I am with you, as you're well aware. At this point, I would definitely consider the transition to Jake Moody. And during the Bears Country podcast yesterday, we had a certain guest named Dan Aguirre who's just fantastic at this, in this entire space, right? He's,
Agreed.
no offense to you, probably one of the best, just because of his recall, all these things.
Not offended by that one bit.
He really tried to give Cairo this weird, let's put you on IR for 4 weeks if you do good for 4 weeks.
No, I mentioned that
Moody.
a couple weeks ago, and I agree completely with it. Stick him on the IR, give Jake Moody 4 weeks. I love that idea. I'm going to say I coined that idea. He probably didn't see my stuff.
Here's the thing. Could Cairo Santos have kicked while he was injured earlier this year when Jake Moody got his 2 starts? For my intents and purposes, I think yes. His range would have been greatly reduced, probably, right? We're talking, cap of 55 down to 45. I don't know. He could have still kicked for you, and you could have made it work. You did try Jake Moody instead, and you saw what he gave you. So I think it's a situation where you lit the fire. You said, Cairo Santos, this is it. You're going to come back. You're going to be our kicker until you're not. And right now, he is still our kicker. And I think you have to continue to ride that because I genuinely don't know what the dead cap looks like.
Yeah, but even last week, even Ben Johnson, even Hightower mentioned that the kick did not go where it was supposed to go on the opening kickoff, and that was part of the problem. That return for a touchdown, Cairo Santos did not kick the ball. That's the 3rd time this year he's let us down. We're only 8 games in. He didn't kick it out of the end zone in the game I was at in week 1. If he would have done that, we would have had 50 seconds on the clock for an opportunity to come back and beat the Vikings. Would we have? Nobody knows. We didn't get the opportunity because the clock got killed by bringing that out. Clock got killed. He didn't make the field goal at halftime. He missed the other field goal that was called back because of a penalty. He didn't kick it out of the end zone. Go ahead, Carl. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Cairo Santos.
Right. Yeah. So can Cairo Santos? I don't care about the kicking. Okay. Anytime it's going to be a 2-sided coin argument here, right? Oh, we need a kicker who can convert from 65. We need Cam Little to set records for us every week. No, you need your offense to be able to get your football closer to the end zone. And if you're not scoring the touchdown, your field goal shouldn't be any longer than 40 yards. That's just the moral of the story, in my opinion, okay? So the kicking aspect as far as field goals, I don't necessarily care too much about. And obviously Jake Moody can convert from longer. Where I am starting to see an issue is not only the placement of those kickoffs, but the depth. Can Cairo Santos put the ball into the end zone? Yes. But it seems like it's one of the hardest things in this world for him to do. Jake Moody can put the ball into the end zone with ease, and I think if you needed him to, he could kick it out of the back of the end zone. That is where I think the true value comes into switching to a guy like Jake Moody. So I think that the change of scenery, just to piggyback off of Dan Aguirre's thought from yesterday, the change of scenery really is going to help out a kicker who, again, was drafted 99th overall. A kicker drafted in the 3rd round? That's like something the Oakland Raiders would do. I think that we should feel lucky that Jake Moody's on our team, and when he eventually gets sniped off, it's going to suck. So that's where you have to start really thinking long and hard about the situation. But as far as converting 3 points from the end of a football drive, I'm still okay with Cairo Santos until he proves that he can't hit with accuracy. We all know the distance, and I don't care about the distance, if I'm being honest.
I do care about
accuracy.
distance because he missed at halftime 4 yards short on a 57-yard field goal. 4 or 5 yards short. It wouldn't have been good from 53, 52. I do care. That halftime, those points are important. The points at the end of the game, if it comes down to that and you're kicking a 60-yarder to win the game, you saw Jake Moody do it in preseason for the Niners. He put one through that was estimated to go over 70 yards. That's what I had on the screen right here. That's this one on the left. Right there. It was estimated. You see it going through the goalpost on the, I can't point, but the light green picture on the left, that's the upper half of the goalpost from a 59-yard successful field goal estimated to go 70 yards. He was 3 for 3 in the Super Bowl. Telling you, man, this is not just about accuracy. Yeah, one bad season for Jake Moody. He's 8 for 9 for us, and the one missed field goal is a blocked field goal because of a bad snap in that game. Now, you can say the same thing for Cairo Santos. He had a blocked one, and the one that he missed, like flat out missed, was taken back because of penalty. I had to change my hat. I don't know if you, and now it's bugging me because I look at your hat. One of our cameras is showing things backwards. Which one?
So
Mine.
can you see how mine's fading? I'm not too impressed with the quality of this hat. And I
It's a cheap company. It's just because Ruben Hippolyte was wearing it.
Orange. Yeah, tickle me pink, right? I saw Ruben Hippolyte with a cool hat, wanted to support our reach of a 4th-round pick, and the kid can't even get on the football field. Now he's got an opportunity, right? We got a linebacker out with a concussion, whatever he's got, broken hand, whatever he's got.
Yeah, but
DeMarco
DeMarco
the 4th-round
Jackson's
pick
been playing
can earn
better.
some money.
Yeah, but DeMarco Jackson's already been playing more than him. He's been healthy scratch while DeMarco Jackson's been playing and playing very well. So I don't know if he'll hit the field more or not. It's going to be Noah Sewell filling in with DeMarco Jackson.
That's what I was saying. Like, if we're witnessing Tremaine Edmonds playing the Tremaine Edmonds who got a pick 6 against the Bengals, by the way, Adam, I don't give a fuck about that stupid little penalty. We need a mic, and I think that should be Noah Sewell.
Carl, did you show this? Did you show this stat last night? I think Carl showed a chart last night that Santo.
Yeah. It's in the screen there, Adam. It's just Santos.png. It's just a screen grab from. You can make it full screen so everyone can see real quick. Essentially, these are just the stats for Cairo Santos up to this point while a member of the Chicago Bears. Just for the audio listeners there, again, you can see in 2025 from 50 to 59, Cairo Santos is 2 of 4. And overall, the percentage at 78.6 is as low as it has ever been for the Bears.
Yeah, but this Cairo Santos, you said?
Yeah.
He was 8 of 9 last year.
Yeah.
That shocks me.
This way he's got big money. Yeah, I know. Everyone wants to dog on the guy. I call him the little
Were they
Brazilian
all
that could.
51 yarders?
I don't know. Possible. It's just from 50 to 59, right? Subjective stats. Figures lie, liars figure. Whatever you want it to be.
Okay, but you see that range over there, 60 plus? I don't see any there. I want a kicker that can kick a 60 plus. I'm being greedy. I'm with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson said he got greedy. That was his way of covering Cairo's butt. I want to be greedy too. I want to see us putting through, you got kickers that are kicking new records. Who was the one that kicked last week, a 68-yarder? It's a new record. Just happened.
Cam Little.
That's right. Cam Little kicked a 68-yarder. We got kickers kicking 68 yards. I want our kicker kicking 68-yarders. I want to see it. I'm selfish. Just like Ben Johnson said, I'm selfish.
The annoying the critical thing here is that you don't want to even be attempting those types of field goals at Soldier Field.
Sure you
Especially
do.
if you got the swirling wind.
End of the half. Oh, that's the other thing. This week they said 17 mile an hour could be gusting up to 20 or 30 miles an hour.
Right.
That's going to
And
be.
it's not a stadium where there's an alleyway for that wind to consistently take it one way. Oh, I know the wind is good. I want to have it at the ball going this way in the second and the fourth quarter. All these things, right? No, it's the swirling wind of Soldier Field. Think between Soldier Field and the Meadowlands. Those are the two hardest places in the NFL to kick. So. Again, that's why I'm so stagnant on wanting to move off of Cairo Santos, because you finally found the success there. And again, I think that upgrading from Cairo Santos to Jake Moody, while it is an upgrade in theory, it's not a needle mover per se. Where it could be a needle mover is on your special teams coverage, because if the damn defense, who couldn't even stop a nosebleed, is going to have their opponent starting at the 35, 40-yard line every single drive, you expect Caleb Williams, this Bears offense, to put up 50 every week. It's not gonna fly.
Are we the most unlucky team in the world? Because that one punt
Nope.
that Torrey Taylor did, that one punt was called back for a penalty down to the 1 yard line. That was such
extremely frustrating, right? Like again, taking a special teamer in early day 3 on the draft. Torrey Taylor is a fantastic punter. I won't say he's worth the pick. I'm happy that Torrey Taylor is our punter. And there's been multiple occasions like that where he's just simply got robbed. Or a ball has been put to a perfect spot on the field, and if it wasn't for a penalty, it was returned. So, again, I think that part of the team is fine. When it comes to special teams, it's really the kickoff coverage that I'm really having the biggest issue with right now.
Well, I think this week it's going to come down to special teams, and it's going to come down to the running game. So we've alluded to it a couple times. Here's your injury report. And there has been an addition to this, just so you guys know. They announced it on social media. They didn't change their graphic for it, though. Ja'Day Walker is out for the game. He endured a concussion on Friday's practice. So after this was already released on Friday, he was diagnosed with a concussion. He is out for the game. So Ja'Day Walker is not going to be in this game, as well as Josh Blackwell, TJ Edwards, Dominique Robinson, DeAndre Swift. I'm going to go ahead and predict he's not. We just looked at the weather report in the 30s. You got cold weather. You have a groin soft tissue injury, and then he had something personal. Nobody knows what at this point, but he didn't practice Friday. I'm going to say DeAndre Swift is not playing in Sunday's game. And I'd probably say Durham Smythe too with a calf. If he's limited and didn't practice all week, cold weather is not the time you bring someone back, in my opinion.
I'm very much okay with DeAndre Swift not playing another football game this week. Again, regardless of Swift's availability, one of the things I wanted to ask you was, where do you stand with Kyle Monangai as far as the performance you saw in Ohio? And just moving forward, I attribute it and compare it to the Ja'Day Walker experiment, in the sense that Ja'Day Walker, through his play throughout the preseason, clearly earned his starting position on the 53-man roster. Not starting, his initial 53-man roster spot, right? He earned it. I watched Kyle Monangai earn the running back number 1 job. Not to say that he's going to be your bell cow, but I also wanted to ask the chat on this, and I hope that everyone has piled in at this point, 25 minutes in. I don't know if it was someone in the chat or you, Adam. Someone said that the lowdown on Kyle Monangai was that the kid needed a lot of touches to get going, and I think we saw that. So all this to kind of combine into the idea that Kyle Monangai should be your lead back. And as we've all preached on this channel, or at least I have personally, DeAndre Swift needs to be relegated into the rotational running back 2 role. Not to say that his production will be relegated, because it may actually increase. But I think Kyle Monangai should be treated as the starter moving forward.
I don't have a problem with a 50-50 workload with the two of them. They both bring a unique skill set. I'm going to bring up here just in a second. I had to start a new poll. So I just started a new poll for you guys in the chat. Who you think the RB1 should be moving forward? But I agree completely with Cliff on this one. 1A and 1B. Reason being, because Kyle Monangai has a unique skill set for breaking tackles. He did it in college. That's the one thing I highlighted in the pre-draft coverage and everything we were doing there. He's doing it now. He had the highest broken tackle per rep taken leading into last week. And now with the heavier workload, that kind of went down a little bit because he didn't, it's just different role as a starter. Omarion Hampton had quite a few before he got injured as well. But I like the idea of both of these guys with this. I'm going to attribute the offensive line more than anything. The offensive line has looked really solid. Even, Theo Benedict, Drew Dahlman, Darnell Wright, especially Joe Tooney is a little bit slower than the other ones, but they all get it out there. The offensive line is looking solid. So if you can save both of them by, say you're going to run 30 times in a game, which is high, but for this game, the cold weather game, say we're going to run it 30 times a game. If we gave each of them 15 this week, I would be completely happy with it because you're going to, rotate downs or series with them. And they're both playing really high level right now. They're both hitting holes hard. And what was it that Ben Johnson said? I want them to feel like they're in competition every week. They have to prove they want it. I don't remember the exact quote. Somebody will probably say it over in the chat, but give this coaching staff no doubt that you should be getting playing reps, basically is what they said. So if they're both fighting for that opportunity and they're both, playing like that, then I have no problem with the 1A, 1B, giving them both 50-50 reps. I love that idea of having a combined workload of both of them moving forward.
I just think it would be more advantageous to design a game plan around getting DeAndre Swift into space and not having to worry about, asking him to run between the tackles to keep a defense honest on him, right? So Ben Johnson is as smart as anyone to get both of those guys on the football field and figure it out there as well, right? The infamous Matt Nagy was able to have a backfield that featured Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. So I know Ben Johnson can do it. My point regarding all of this, again, is just that I don't care if it was the Cincinnati Bengals. It was an NFL defense. And as Kyle Monangai got more and more touches, whether it was the offensive line or not, Kyle Monangai looked better and better throughout the game.
Well, everyone's saying Cincinnati Bengals had the worst run defense. Well, they do now. Weren't they like 30th before the week? And now they're worst because of us. We put up over 200 yards on them. Same thing with the Giants. Giants are 31st. They'll be worst after this next week, in my opinion. And I think you'll continue to see that as we play even better teams too, as you see us play the Steelers. I think they'll do a good job. They might not put 200 yards up on the Steelers, but if they can put 150 yards up on the Steelers, that's a really good job. Now, the Steelers have had a weaker defense this year than normal years. I really like the point by Steve Rogers here. Ben Johnson rode the hot player when in Detroit. They signed David Montgomery to a massive contract. Everyone assumed David Montgomery would be the workload guy throughout the entire year. Now they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs first round. That's different than drafting Kyle Monangai seventh round. It is different. If you draft him first round, you better be giving him a ton of reps. But he's not afraid to give the hot hand the ball. So if Kyle Monangai stays hot and healthy, if he keeps averaging the massive amount of yards that he's getting per carry, let me pull up the share screen here. This is from PFF. We all love PFF, Carl. Where's it at?
Yeah, I'm not sure why you started to talk about the Steelers while you're getting into that because
we're getting to the Steelers in a couple weeks. I just say if we're at that point 4 weeks from now, 3-4 weeks from now, I don't think he's going to be afraid to continue to carry the hot hand of Kyle Monangai.
Very easy for you to say that, Chad. I think it's a swing game for us. 6-3, big difference between 5 and 4. You are correct, but the trade deadline is dead and gone, right? So as far as your outcome, you just got to go for it. Whether you're 6-3 or 5 and 4, you got a game the following week, right? So I do think that this game is starting to venture towards a can't lose versus a must win. And for the optics, a team with as bad of a record as the Giants, a rookie quarterback, regardless of how that rookie is playing, and I would say undeniably their two best offensive weapons, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatpack, those cats are out. So it is a football game, in my opinion, at the end of the day that you have to win.
These are the top running backs in the entire league at yards per attempt. And Kyle Monangai is number 4. And look at the names up here. James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Rico Dowdle, Kyle Monangai, then Javonte Williams, Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, Travis Etienne, Devon Achane. Just like Caleb Williams said in his press conference, every one of these teams is an NFL team. I don't care If you guys, well, it was just the Bengals. No, he did the same thing a couple weeks earlier against the Saints. Well, it's just the Saints. Well, okay, then watch him do it against all these other teams too. He's got a hard-nosed way of running, and I'm really excited to see if he can keep this up. 5.3 yards per attempt is absolutely insane. But over here, look at this. 16 missed tackles forced. That's a ton for only 68 attempts. That's half the attempts of, let's see, half the attempts of Rico Dowdle, half the attempts of Javonte Williams. And, well, Javonte Williams has a lot of broken tackles too, but it's, if you double that out, that's way more missed tackles forced than Rico Dowdle and some of these other guys. So he's definitely playing really, really well so far. I want to see him keep it up for sure.
Yeah, just give him a chance, see what happens. I'm not sure about this comment from Ekmodis Creative. I'm sure I butchered that name. He says, I wish Roshan will just apologize for whatever he did to Ben Johnson so he can get back to his RB2, RB3 job. I don't think Roshan Johnson did anything except not play well enough. I mean, at the end of the day, the cat was dealing with some big concussion and brain concerns, apparently, because he is throwing the kitchen sink at that issue. He is not only wearing the Guardian cap, I think he's also wearing the Q collar, which increases your blood flow to your skull, pads your brain. That's the real way to prevent the concussion, in my opinion. So as far as Roshan Johnson, I think you're seeing a reason why a guy like Britton Brown just comes in off the streets and gashes the Bengals for, what, a 25, 30-yard touchdown?
Check that out, though. In the 2 attempts that Roshan's got, he's got 17 yards. That's pretty solid.
Very interesting. I know he had 1 carry that didn't go for long. So what's his long? Does it show us here? 17 yards. 1 had to have been for what, like 12?
12. 11 is the long, 6 is the other one. And it's
we're quabbling over running back with 2 carries. But at the end of the day, I'm okay with riding Britton Brown instead of Roshan Johnson. I mean, Roshan Johnson, you can very well see him. It's easy to see him, rather, on special teams because of that Guardian cap. He is trending towards a player who's just a special teams ace. And for a player drafted, in the 4th round, I think he is, it's either himself or Tyler Scott were the replacement for Robert Quinn, the replacement as far as the draft pick. Definitely neither player has been worth that. But, hell, it's kind of easy for me to go to bed on this topic at night knowing that maybe that pick was spent effectively on Kyle Monangai, even though the true pick for Kyle Monangai was actually the replacement to Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert, yeah.
Yeah.
This is where I think the rubber meets the road in this game. I showed this in my preview video earlier, but the Bears rushing yards per game 144.4. They're 2nd in the entire league, and the Giants 31st in the league, allowing 150. With this being a cold weather game, I would expect this to be a ground and pound game. As long as you keep getting 5-6 yards a carry, which I think they will in this game, you're going to see us putting the ball on the ground a ton. And it's going to be fun to see what Ben Johnson does with creativity, though, to keep things mixed up and loose. Maybe some double reverses, maybe some play action into a run. I have no idea what he's going to do. He's going to have some fun stuff. They'll still pass the ball, obviously, but it's going to be fun to see what they do on the run. So you can see our offense is highly rated. You look at the right, and the Giants are very low rated, so that should be a mixture for us getting a lot of points on the board. Our defense is very lowly rated, but their offense is just middle of the pack. So we have the edge in this game. The thing that I like the most in a cold weather game right now, I shared this on Twitter, so those of you who aren't on Twitter, I'm sharing this here now. Top turnover margin per game, it's not even close. The Bears are far and away. Look at our turnover margin per game, 1.6 per game. Next is the Steelers at 1.1, Jaguars at 1.0, Bucks at 0.9, and it slowly increments down after that, 1.1, 1.0, 0.9, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, down into the negatives. Some teams obviously have a negative turnover differential. We're 1.6. We're 0.5 higher than the next team. We turn the ball over 0.8 times a game, so once every 4 times every 5 games, and we get 2.4 turnovers per game. Some of them are cheap, like Nashawn Wright's at the end of last game. They threw a Hail Mary, and but that's just how football is. Sometimes you get some cheap ones, sometimes you get some cheap ones taken off of you. But we're getting a 1.6 turnover differential. The only time in the last 6 games that we've lost the turnover battle was the one game we lost to the Ravens. Every other time we've won the turnover battle in the last 5. We're 5 wins, 1 loss in those 6 games. So it's important. The turnover battle is huge, especially in a cold weather game.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's normal to have a 2.0 turnover margin per game, and this is per game, not per win, so it really evens out. But it's almost eye-popping to see that there are currently only 3 teams in the NFL that have a turnover margin per game that's larger than 1.0, or at least 1.0 or greater. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think they're a fantastic team, riddled with injuries on the offensive side, and yet they only have a 0.9 per game turnover margin. I can't get over that. That's crazy. And for the Bears to lead, that's good, but sadly, it kind of makes you face the reality that without those turnovers, how much worse would this defense be, knowing how highly paid the defense is? It's like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, without those turnovers, this defense does suck. It sucks bad. It's worrisome, and we have the news that maybe Asante Samuel's coming in next week. I don't know how they're going to make that work with the cap. They can always manipulate things. I don't understand. You talked about earlier. Someone was talking about Roshan Johnson being in the doghouse. I don't understand the Jalen Jones thing, dude. Tell me what Jalen Jones did to not deserve more time when the one game he played, he was the 14th best corner in the entire league that week. And now we benched him last week and he didn't play a down.
Yeah, maybe I'll start by jokingly say that Jalen Jones should not play this week because his good buddy Josh Blackwell is ruled out, right? Because apparently my lack of experience at the NFL level really deters my ideas on this topic, right? Say this very facetiously.
Because you got razzed.
Yeah, it's a total joke. This guy's a clown. Anyway, all of you guys who spend your time watching us and investing your comments into the channel, very much appreciate that. So let my antics here be no slight towards you. Jalen Jones needs to play some football. I mean, we were talking on BCP last night about how, Al Harris is so great. He's the second coming. He's a fine coach. Al Harris is a fine coach. But the worst thing that I can say about Al Harris is that he is the direct reason why Nahshon Wright is on this football team. Again, I said Nahshon Wright was a propaganda campaign from the jump. Now he's starting football games for you, and he's sucking it up. So maybe we need to talk to Al Harris directly. I don't know if anyone can get him on the phone for us, but let's call him and say, hey, I don't care what your experience with Nahshon Wright is. We need to give Jalen Jones a shot here because it really genuinely could not be any worse, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, the game against Baltimore is the game where he had a forced fumble as well. 2 targets against him, but only 9 yards. I showed a little all-22 about how he was tight in coverage. When they threw to him, it was right off the line, and he limited those 2 catches to 4.5 yards, 6 yards on one and 3 on the other. He was locked down. He was the only one that they didn't dare throw against. The only time they threw was when he was right off the line. Like they designed it right off of the line. They couldn't throw to him deep. So I don't understand it. I think he should get a shot for sure. But I'm not the one calling the shots. I'm just a guy sitting in his studio here talking football with you. And I don't understand it whatsoever. In fact, I should pull up here. Let's remove this. Show the depth chart real quick. Oh, in fact, I had it on that one. Shoot, I should have just left that on here. Give me 1 second, Carl.
It could be similar to my thought process with the kickers, though, right? Like if you pivot off of Nahshon Wright for Jalen Jones, well, what happens if Jalen Jones doesn't work out and you go back to Nahshon Wright? That offensive coordinator is going to say, what's this guy's number again? 26? Ball's got to be thrown at 26. Anyone offense on 26. And unless this guy can come away with a couple lucky turnovers, we're going to be right back to, your 29th ranked pass defense, whatever we are.
So here's basically your secondary, everything behind the defensive line. You got Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard. Behind them is Jonathan Owens, Elijah Hick. You got Tyreek Stevenson, Nahshon Wright starting. That's where I think the issue is. I think Jalen Jones should be starting ahead of Nahshon Wright. You saw Nahshon Wright get picked on by T. Higgins and Jamar Chase last week. It was embarrassing for him. He got the interception at the end of the game, so his grade didn't look as terrible as it should have been. It was the Hail Mary at the end of the game. He got that interception, but that's garbage stats. But whatever, it is what it is. I'll take it. C.J. Gardner-Johnson starting in the nickel until Kyler Gordon gets back. Nick McLeod, thankfully, is not there. So with Josh Blackwell out, I moved him down. That's why he looks awkward. I moved him down because he's out for the game. They've ruled him out. And obviously from this one, Carl Jones Jr. is now removed from this visual as well. You think Jalen Jones has to get some snaps, but I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see.
I genuinely don't know what the game plan is for the Giants as far as their offense goes anymore, because they have, I'll call it a stable of backs, even with, well, after Cam Scatterboo goes out, they lose a huge horse there, right?
Yeah.
But they still have, it's what, Tyrone Tracy
Yep.
and Devin Singletary.
Yep.
None of those players are knock your socks off, but they're not the worst in the NFL, I'd have to say. So I don't know if they
Tracy
still
had
want
a
to
big year
rely.
last year.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to rely on their running game, which I still think is an issue for the Bears. But specifically, if they want to pass the football, what are we looking at here? It's Wan'Dale Robinson. Is there a Shepard or a Sharp or one of these receivers I was seeing in the fantasy leagues?
Well, cold weather game and against the Bears, who are one of the weaker run defense. Now, I say that in the last 3 weeks since. That's important to note here. Since Grady Jarrett has come back, here's the little visual on the bottom of my thing here. Let's go back to that screen with this one. Look at the bottom there. In the last 3 games, and that's since Grady Jarrett's come back. Oops, moved the wrong one. Since Grady Jarrett came back, the Bears have only allowed 89 rushing yards per game in the last 3 games, where they're normally allowing, over the whole entirety of the season, the Bears were allowing 131 yards a game. So that's a significant improvement over the last 3 games. So I hope we can keep that up.
The name I was searching for was Darius Slayton, for the record.
Oh.
Am I willing to crown Grady Jarrett and call him, the iconic run stuffer that is deserving of his contract? No. I think what I need to see from Grady Jarrett is more and more and more. And if he wants to start off this game against the Giants by completely stifling their run game and having their offense become one-dimensional, that would be a fantastic start to that whole game, in my opinion. So let's see more Grady Jarrett. You're getting paid very handsomely. I just want to continue to see more.
I think Ben Johnson should just come and join the chat and just look at the ideas people are throwing out there for this. Hide the running back. I have Darnell Wright throw my non-guy 10 yards down the field. Like, they're coming up with creative plays for Ben Johnson to have as his trick play this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's really getting silly at this point, right? Like the infamous Ozzy Trapillo, with that name coming out of my mouth yet again. That guy is going to catch a football this year, Adam. I can guarantee you all these sixth offensive linemen times that we're seeing these formations, 10% of the snaps Ozzy is getting at times. He's going to catch a pass this year. It's not if, but when.
I agree with you. There is a significant downgrade this year, though. You look at Cam Scatpack. He's out. He was there. Look at all the beautifulness there. 3.04 yards after contact. I really like Scatterboo. And you don't have to agree with me, but I'm telling you, I have it from an inside source. We were planning on taking Scatterboo in the 4th round. Once he was taken off the board, we traded back because he was off the board. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm telling you, someone who is very close to Eric Bieniemy told me this. I'm just telling you.
I do genuinely believe that, because the idea of a 1-2 punch with Cam Scatterboo probably made Eric Bieniemy, stand up and fight for that idea. So I do wholeheartedly believe that, and I don't want this to be the Cam Scatterboo discussion. It's just
I'm just showing you the difference here of
the outcome I saw from Cam Scatterboo was the expected outcome. It's such a damn shame it happened so soon.
So that's after Scatterboo's out, you've got Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. The after contact is the big thing here. They're significantly lower than Scatterboo. Missed tackles forced. The two of them together have about the same amount of attempts, a little bit less, and they're significantly lower on the missed tackle forced. So we've got an edge in the rushing game here. They're low on their rushing. We're high on our rushing. It's the run defense for both teams is weak. We'll see which team can step up and play better. Let me switch this over to our run defense so you can see it. I don't know how much you like this, but let's look at run defense. Let's look for the Bears. And switch it away. Here's your Bears run defense and your run defense grades. Here's our top guys. A lot of information on this page: position, games, team, run defense, snaps that have been played. Here's your run defense grades. Anything in this range is phenomenal. So Kevin Byard, Ruben Hippolyte, Montez Sweat, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Noah Sewell,
Yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds. Not a lot of linemen in there is what worries you. So you want to see these guys continue to get better and better at it.
Yeah.
And here's your buddy Grady Jarrett.
I wish Montez Sweat was in a more advantageous position just for his personal stock, because the player is very good. I think that Montez Sweat is very deserving of that second-round pick that we traded away for him.
Agreed.
It's just it becomes a quabble when you factor in the money that he's receiving as well. Overall, I'm happy with the player. You can clearly see the subjective run grade from PFF suggests he's, what is that, a borderline elite run defender? It's just you're not getting the whole package, right? You're not getting that mixed in with 12, 15 sacks.
Well, here's what you want to look at with your linemen. This 10% stop percentage. So amount of times where you stop them on third or fourth down from getting the first down. That's critical, like for these guys. For your linebackers and your defensive backs, this number should be very high, like around 7 to 12%. So it's really good when you see these guys up there. Tremaine Edmonds, Noah Sewell, they're up there high. Montez Sweat. Your linemen are going to be typically around 5. Anything above 7 is elite. So that 7 is why his grade is so high. He's stopping guys at a click. He's breaking through everything he can. 7.9 for a lineman is extremely high. You look at our other linemen, Dominic Robinson, 5.1 is actually really good. Andrew Billings, 8.0, really good. He's having a way better year. I was trashed on him. My trash talk has stopped with Andrew Billings. If you've heard me, I've stopped. I even in my projection video projected us re-signing him for another 1-year contract because he's a great rotational backup guy. My trash talk of Billings has stopped, if you've noticed. Daya Odengbo, that's where he comes into play, but his pass rush is terrible, but his run stopping was very good. Gervon Dexter doing well. Grady Jarrett a little below where you want him. Shamar Turner was okay. But here's what you're talking about when you get into the pass rush. Here's the issues with this team. It's not been good.
This will be a good transition into a question that I also wanted to ask you today. Mr. Tony Moyes asking, are we giving Gervon Dexter an extension, or are we finding someone else?
I don't think you'll see the extension this offseason. If anything, they're going to let his contract run out and see how he does in the last year of his contract. I don't think you'll see that happen this offseason. He hasn't earned it yet.
Now, that whole idea becomes a little convoluted when we're talking a compensatory pick as well, right? I don't know if we could trick someone, or Gervon Dexter could trick someone.
Well, you could trade him.
Signing him.
You could trade him next year if you really don't want to re-sign him. You could trade him for a third rounder easily, maybe even more with how well he's played. I mean, you could get value for Gervon Dexter for sure.
Yeah, because you spent a second, right? So you get, that would be at that point 3.5 years of production, and instead of paying the guy money that you necessarily might not have, you get a third back. I think I really like that, Adam. I mean, that's the first time I've thought about that. I like that. I like that compensation right there.
We didn't actually hit on TJ Edwards, and I wanted to hit on that. JJ had surgery, and in a month or two away at best. They say he could come back right around Christmas. That's the update. He's posted a couple times on socials. He's been working out. He's actually closer than you would think to back, but there's a certain process to getting past that surgery. But the thing I wanted to hit on TJ Edwards, he had surgery. He's in a cast. Now he's going to be out there with the club beating on people. Did you hear that news? So the Bears aren't
I heard that they denied the IR opportunity because of that. Yes.
Yeah, they're not putting him on they're going to put him in a club. They're going to have him out there bashing people with this giant cast. I love it.
Very much okay with me.
I love it. That's going to be fun.
You
can't grip with that, but you can clobber some people on the side of the head.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. His game is not intercepting the ball and returning it for a touchdown. That's Tremaine Edmonds' job, so it's totally fine.
Tackling. He's a tackler. He's a beast up the middle. He's a beast in the middle of the sheets.
Wow.
Club punch. I like that. Club punch.
Wow.
Oh, the middle of the field is what I meant to say.
The peanut punch, but with the club, yeah. I don't know. That would sure be funny.
Oh, I wish you could play this game. That's great. Because
Club peanuts.
It's going to be important for this game. Boom, a peanut punch. All right, with the cold weather, what's your prediction this week, Carl?
I'm going to call it a little bit more of a low-scoring game, and I think that's not too bold after what we just saw in Ohio. Um, I don't know if I've got a number in me, but what can we get some sort of
Shoot it
analysis
up.
here on the Giants' offense? Because I feel like they've actually been putting up some points. I don't know if there's any way to quickly reference that.
Where would I-
Standings, right? So we're talking about a team that just put up 24 points against the 49ers. Previous games in sequential order, I think. 20 points, 32 points, 34 points, 14, 21. So they've hit a hot streak. I don't know. I think that as long as the Bears can control the run game, don't abandon the run game like you did in Baltimore. Stay ahead of the sticks and run the ball at those talented yet smaller defensive ends. I like the Bears' chances a lot, especially a team that has a little bit of confidence, right? You've got the MVP from this week, Colson Loveland, coming home to the Chicago Soldier Field audience. I think your Bears are going to get a win. I like the tune of 28 to 21, 24 type of game.
I made my prediction earlier today. It was 42-24 Bears. I think we're going to be able to grab.
42.
Oh yeah, we're going to pound the out of them. We are going to score so many points. So they got the over under on this game right now sitting at 47 with a spread of 4.5, which means Vegas thinks we're going to outscore them 26-21. Essentially is what they're saying. They're saying we're going to win 26-21. So you're right close to what Vegas is saying. And let's see. This should be fun. I should pull this up. This is my little betting app. I shouldn't show that on there, but
Ooh.
William Hill in Vegas. So it's kind of funny. You guys don't know this, but I can't use DraftKings or any of those. They're not allowed in the state of Nevada. The only one I can use are the casino apps. So mine is William Hill. Doesn't mean anything or matter. So for touchdown scores, they've got DeAndre Swift as the highest odds to score a touchdown. Kyle Monangai is the second highest odds. Third highest odds, Roma Dunze. Fourth highest odds, DJ Moore. And then the fifth highest odds, finally, you get a Giants player, Tyrone Tracy, has the fifth highest odds. For passing touchdowns, this can be kind of fun to make you guess. What do you think they're projecting Caleb to have for passing touchdowns?
Passing touchdowns?
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to be like a half, right? So call it 3.5. He's got to score
The over/under is 1.5.
1.5. So if he scores 2, you win.
Well, if you bet the over, or if you bet the under, you win. If you,
I understand. Okay.
bet one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that 2 touchdowns at this point, after what this offense is trending towards, I think it's very plausible.
Passing yards, they put him over/under at 222, which I think is actually kind of high for a cold weather game. We'll see how rainy it is when it comes to the game. Let's see here. Who do they have for rushing yards? They got Kyle Monangai with the highest rushing yards, over/under of 53.5. DeAndre Swift, 51.5. Tyrone Tracy, 44.5. Receiving yards, Rome has the highest, then Wan'Dale Robinson, then DJ Moore, then Darius Slayton. Interesting. I should post all these. That's what I should have this ready next week. I'll post the odds that Vegas has for this game next week when we do this. That'll be fun for people to see those odds. Yeah.
You have to get a man on the inside. You're the one, probably the Bears fan with the most noise behind you that's closest to Vegas, right? You damn near you do live in Vegas, so you got to get a man on the inside. Let's get some hedge betting on.
Should I go pay someone off at the casino at the sports books and go pay them off for some information?
I mean, I didn't want to embarrass you on your show, but that's exactly what I'm saying.
The nearest casino is like a mile that direction from me. It's not far. Yeah,
Just
Mike,
build a tunnel.
We talked about this earlier. Winds 20 to 30. It's going to be set for 17 miles an hour, but they say it could gust 20, 30, even more on Sunday for the game. So it's going to be.
Oh, so they're setting up Cairo Santos for failure. I see how it is. Okay.
Or for greatness, you know, if he knocks all those through at 40-mile-an-hour winds, everyone like me is going to shut up. And they're going to say, no, keep Cairo. You can't cut Cairo. Cairo's the man.
All right, Cairo,
God.
we need you to convert the 60-yard field goal on 3rd down in the first quarter. Make no sense about it.
Were you not deflated when Cairo missed that when he was short on that field goal, though? Was that not deflating when you know you have Jake Moody that can kick that field goal and then Cairo
When
missed
did
it?
this occur? It was at the end of the first half, right?
Yeah, end of the first half.
I may have been doing something. I was at my dad's house in Michigan, but essentially, no, I wasn't deflated or
I was
mad or
deflated.
anything.
I was deflated. I was immediately posting on Twitter, F this Cairo, get him off my team. I'm going to hate watch him until... And then he missed the field goal later in the game, and I was pissed about that too. Luckily, we got the penalty, so that ended up being a touchdown drive. But yeah, I was all pissed off.
Right. Okay, yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, it's just having the ability to kick a field goal even 10 yards longer than Santos's guarantee of 50, right? You know, we have a chance at 60. How often is that going to come up? And especially at Soldier Field, going into the December weather, it's like
end of halves
I don't know, man.
and end of games. It's a huge part of what decisions you make. I guarantee you. Okay, I don't guarantee you. I can tell you if brain fart, brother.
I'm trying to let you complete this thought, but
who's
I've
your
got the
Michigan tight
ultimate clapback. I've got the
Theo-
ultimate clapback.
Colston Loveland. If Colston Loveland went down after he caught that ball, I would be crapping bricks. Of
Right,
whether Cairo
you're
would have made
clenched
that
up. You're clenched
Yeah.
up.
I would have been panicking.
You are clenched up.
and I would not have been comfortable. I'm glad that Colston took that, broke tackles, and bounced off of them and showed his farm boy mentality of just, I'm going to score no matter what. I loved it. But if Cairo was kicking that field goal to win the game, I would have been panicked. I don't know if we would have won or not.
Right. Well, like I said, the ultimate clapback I have for this entire kicker conversation, right? Robbie Gould was not known for his leg strength. He was known for his accuracy. Granted, with a defense that was much better, but an offense that was much, much worse. So you didn't need a 60-yard field goal in 2005, 2006 to get you to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, respectively, right? So I don't know, man.
What's
And
Jake
honestly,
Moody?
I shouldn't have said that. I don't think that
What's Jake
I-
Moody done for us this year, other than be perfect? Same thing as he's had a blocked punt, or blocked kick, just like Cairo. But everyone that's had an opportunity to go that wasn't blocked was perfect. 8 for 8. In the Super Bowl, what was he? 3 for 3. In preseason, he won a freaking game winner in the clutch at the with a 59-yarder. Accuracy above all, but Jake Moody has been nothing but accurate for the Bears, more accurate than Cairo Santos this year. He has a better percentage this year than Cairo Santos, does he not?
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, he does. He has a better percentage than Cairo Santos.
Well, yeah. 8 of 9, and that's being very rude to Jake Moody because he's perfect this year. He had a kick blocked.
Well, and to be fair,
So-
so did Cairo Santos. He had one blocked as well. So, but he also missed another one, and then he missed one that was taken back and didn't count against him. So,
Yeah.
some of you might hate me for this
It's-
take, but I really do care about having a kicker that potentially could kick a 70-yarder for us. But he's also accurate. He wasn't taken 99th overall because he's inaccurate. He's freaking accurate. He had whatever funk happened with the Niners in the second year, but that first year as a rookie was one of the best kicking years ever, and he was 3 for 3 in the Super Bowl and 5 for 5 on extra points. He's a good kicker. I like him.
Yeah. At the end of the day, and I don't know if Brian Gilmore is just reciting what I already said or if I'm copying Brian Gilmore, God knows at this point, my issue with the
We all
kicking
say the
is
same thing.
not your 3 points at the end of a drive, which should always end within a 40-yard field goal attempt or better. It's the kickoffs. If we need to put the ball through the back of the end zone, I don't think that Cairo Santos is able to. I'll go back and watch it for myself. I don't want to make you guys do my homework for me, so to speak. But I feel like when we asked Cairo Santos to kick the ball into the end zone, after Colston Loveland showed you why he was the 10th overall pick, I feel like Cairo Santos' run-up was twice or 3 times as long. And I don't even know if it's legal to do what he did, but he ran so long to be able to generate enough leg strength just to put the ball 3 yards into the end zone, right?
Yeah, it
That-
wasn't
that-
a deep kick.
that's-
I was
that's
expecting
the
to go out of the
problem.
end zone.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm positive that Jake Moody could effortlessly put the ball into the end zone, and if needed, put the ball out of the end zone. That is the key upgrade, in my opinion. And if you feel like it's something where, yep, I can't coach the special teams, Daniel Hardy's too busy doing backflips. I know, Adam, you have the proof. I called Daniel Hardy a special teams ace. The Brendan Iambadagio of this year's Bears. No, the guy is a little lackluster in that department, if we're being honest here, and he's the one who ended up giving up the onside kick there. So if Hightower can't fix this issue and you really truly need your ace in the hole with a kicker, go to Moody and don't come back. That's what I would say at this point.
So I just put a poll up there. Are you worried? I'm glad we're playing the Giants this week because the Giants have severe issues with kickers. They signed Young-Ho Koo, who was 1 for 3 against the Bears last
Oh,
time.
did they?
And he's going to start this week. So Young-Ho Koo is their starting kicker this week. Their other kicker, I don't have it off the top of my head, but he had a neck injury this week. Something happened with his neck, so he's out.
Adam, everybody loves a young ho.
But just so you guys know, you can't steal somebody else's practice squad player. Carl, stay on track just for a minute. You can't steal someone's practice squad player when you're facing them that week. So the Giants can't steal him this week, but I promise the Giants probably wanted to. Someone's going to steal him if we don't keep him.
Yeah. Foster covers here. It's my turn to talk, right? Don't make me play the video. Everybody loves a young ho, and I hope we're not gonna get snake bitten by that because I genuinely like Young Ho Koo. I think he's a good player. So
Same thing as Moody. He just went through a down stretch, and so they decided to part ways with him. But he's overall been a really good kicker for his career.
yeah, it's almost like Atlanta. It's almost like Atlanta with their 5 first-round picks on their offensive line. Their top 5, top 10 running back, whatever the heck he is. Their oodles of first-round picks littered across their offense. It's almost like that offense isn't good enough, and you're relying on your kicker to convert from 60 consistently, right?
All right, so we're going to wrap this thing up. This was supposed to be more casual. Sorry if I still ignored the chat more than I should have. Carl's telling me to pay attention to the chat more. I'll do better. But we did 3 polls. I feel proud about that. How do I look at my old polls? How do I look at the polls here, Carl?
I was trying to track it for you here. I think I got the last one. Let me see. Wait,
So the last one is, are you worried about Jake Moody being poached by the Giants or Saints? And
did you end the result?
I just did, yeah. 78%
Okay.
of 18.
I got you. Hold on. I got you something nice.
You got this? Okay.
Yeah, I got something nice for you.
Oh, just like you do at BCP, you're going to post them
Yeah,
on
it's the
here?
exact same document. Yep.
I like it. Let's get you posting them up here. All right. So while you do that, I'm going to say the keys to this game is going to be the ground and pound, especially if it's inclement weather. Even if it's not, if it's cold, we're going to have Britton Brown, Karl and I. And if DeAndre Swift plays, great, then we have a trio. And a lot of people have asked that question, and I think that's what the Bears are going to do this year. I don't think we cut DeAndre Swift. I think we keep him till next year. 8.3 is a lot, yes, but your whole running back room as a whole is still cheap. You got DeAndre Swift, you got Karl Monangai, and I still think we draft someone. Having a trio and bringing a rookie in slowly would be absolutely phenomenal. So I think that's what we do. But the ground and pound is going to be the key this week, and then also the turnovers. That turnover margin has become so important for the Bears. The 5 games out of the last 6 games we've won, we've dominated the turnover margin. The game we lost is the one game that we lost the turnover margin battle. So that's going to be big for this week, especially in a cold weather game, and it's going to come to the running game and special teams, in my opinion. All right, let me see. You working on that document there, Carl?
Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm just being a little bit too anal about it, but we're fine. It's going to be
You are
a
talking
little
about
bit
young
of a...
codes and then bringing up the word anal. This channel is going to get sanctioned, and we're going to have problems.
Oh, we're going to get sanctioned after you talk about sports betting. Got it. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
We don't have a sponsor that's sports better.
Not yet.
Bringing that up, if any of you are looking for your insurance needs, check out Group Insurance. Licensed in Nevada, Arizona, Utah, and now Illinois.
Unbelievable.
I should have had.
And anything from money laundering opportunity. I was going to say, though, that intro, while it is very nice, and I have no idea who made it for you,
I do.
Those clips are getting a little long in the tooth. We may have to do a little bit of a rebrand there.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to update those suckers.
Let's see.
Tell you what, I'll find the clips that I want in there, and I'll send them over to you, and we can re-edit that thing.
Oh, you got some in mind? Fantastic. Yeah, I'll just go out and get it. Where the heck did it not save? Slides. We'll upload a slide.
I don't know if I can get behind even a first 3-round running back with what we've seen from Monangai this year and the depth of need we have on that defensive line and its safety. We have so many needs, and left tackle possibly. I don't know. Well, that's a whole nother thing for us to cover, Carl, that we didn't get to. Theo Benedict. I'm up and down with Theo, but that happens with a young left tackle. His run game is so freaking phenomenal. You got it?
Sure, you're not wrong. I was going to say, for all intents and purposes, I wouldn't be surprised if we've already seen the best of Theo Benedict. And while that best of Theo Benedict's probably already better than Braxton Jones, it's still not good enough.
Not in pass pro, but the run game, he's showing some flashes. He's young, so all I'm going to say before we get to this, let's go back here for a second. All I'm going to say with Theo Benedict, we're so quick to move on from guys, and he's young. He's showing me enough flashes of brilliance that the times he gets put on his ass and the times that he gets, bull rushed, it doesn't look good. But as a whole, when you got 4 other really solid guys and you got Theo coming along, he needs that experience. So I'm really hoping by the end of this year, you're looking at weeks 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 as his prime weeks where he really shows up and he looks like that left tackle that you can. He's a free agent after this year. So we want him to play really well, but we also don't want him to play too well that he's too expensive. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to. Here. This is how we'll end this, and it's not a question I necessarily need you to answer. But last night we talked about, who are you most afraid of between all of these highly talented defensive linemen that the Giants have. Not to say that they're iconic, but they have the talent to flash, not all around, but specifically these pass rushers, right? Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, the 3rd overall pick, and Kayvon Thibodeau, who was, the 5th overall pick in his respective draft? These guys can get after the passer, and the weak link on this Bears offensive line is the left tackle right now. So how are those guys going to look? And is it truly a position that we can scheme and game plan around? Or is it really a truly rubber meets the road situation? Because if you go into the 2026 offseason and say, yep, our plan at left tackle is still a combination of Ozzy Trapillo, Theo Benedict, and Karan Amagaji, you may end up with egg on your face yet again. And Adam, you were the human being who told me originally, 2026 draft class, chock full of elite left tackles. And while I hate the University of Alabama, and I'm proud that the University of Michigan sent Nick Saban into retirement, I know that Alabama has a tackle by the name of Caden Proctor. I'm seeing him start to get mocked to the Bears. I am all for an elite left tackle to stop the bleeding if that's what it takes. I don't care if it's Theo.
Even then, when you got great left tackles, Joe Alt, his first year, even if you want to talk about great other, Joe Tooney, his first couple years, they take time on the offensive line to adjust to the NFL. I'd rather see Theo Benedict have a really good second half of this year where you feel confident giving him a 2-year, $15 million contract, $7.5 a year for the next couple of years to see if he keeps developing as a exclusive right free agent for us. Actually, we can get him way cheaper. I just realized as an exclusive right, you get him really cheap next year. You can get him for dirt.
Theo Benedict?
Yeah. As an exclusive right.
Here's the deal. It has to be your 4 tackles on your football team next year in no particular order. Darnell Wright, Theo Benedict, Ozzy Trapillo, and your teen pick. If it's Caden Proctor, whatever it is, unless you're going to the bowl. Teen.
It could be a 3rd rounder. It can be a 2nd round. It doesn't have to be a 1st rounder. No, Carl, let's get to your. No, I don't agree whatsoever.
We'll see you guys next week.
What's the coldest temperature you would enjoy a live Bears game? No limit wins. I'm there no matter what. I like the dedication, but with this one being cold, I'm glad I'm going to be watching them on big screen. 35 degrees got 24%, 25 degrees, and then 10% of you admitted that you're pansies, which I respect. Hey, 4 of you admitted that you're pansies, and you don't want to be there. Hey, I'm going to watch on my big screen. I'll be happy. Who do you want having running back 1 duties moving forward? And I can see the appeal here. Kyle Monangai, and he's cheaper, so I get the appeal, and he's breaking more tackles, and he's going for more yards per attempt.
Wow.
And just as I showed, he's 4th in the league for all running backs in yards per attempt.
48 humans, and I don't know if our votes are included here. Call it 45 humans agree with the person who has no NFL experience to their name. Would you color me shocked?
But did you vote? I didn't vote. I should have voted.
I probably vote because I want it off my screen when I look at it. But regardless, again, out of 48 total, the overwhelming majority want your Mr. Irrelevant, Kyle Monangai, as your RB1. And this poll doesn't suggest that this fan base, these people in this, Bear Down sports community here, we're not saying we want Kyle Monangai to have a 3-1, touch, percentage leading over Swift. I wouldn't even say I want 1A, 1B, but if we got a 60-40, give the 60 to Kyle. Man.
Doesn't hurt to see what he can do when he's playing so well. And last one, are you worried about Jake Moody being poached off the Giants or Saints? Poached by the Giants or Saints? And 78% of you said yes. I agree with you on this one. I'm worried we're going to lose him. And then we're going to have a kicker that can't kick into the end zone. We have a kicker that can't kick 50-yard field goals. I'm worried about it, Carl, but that's just my paranoia.
Yeah, I don't know, and we're going to transition into the outro here, but Tony Moy asking, are we cutting Edmonds and Swift next year? It almost feels like we need to do a mock off-season where we say, okay, here are the options. This is our off-season with cutting both. This is our off-season with cutting one. This is our off-season with cutting none. That might be really fun.
Here you go. I'm going to show this, one of the last things I do here from Twitter.
I'm so up and down with Edmonds, but I don't know. I know Swift is under contract, but I'm very much okay with getting rid of Swift.
I don't think we'll get rid of either. Here, I'm going to show this from Twitter.
Here, if you win a playoff game, you're not getting rid of either. You're arguably extending them.
Even where we are now, I don't think we're getting rid of either.
Even if we get to the playoffs and we get bounced like we did in Soldier Field against Philly, wild card.
All right, so here's what I posted on Twitter. Who wants to make a wager that Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, and Tremaine Edmonds will all be on the Chicago Bears in 2026? Bet you every single one of them will be, despite what your talking heads created as narratives.
Well, I will be doing a mock season with none of them on the roster.
I think it would be foolish to get rid of any one of those guys. They're all proven. They're all solid to this team right now. Every one of them has a huge benefit, and you can restructure certain contracts, which I just showed in my mock off season that I did. You can restructure 3 contracts, 3 important players. You don't want to do the ones that you're going to get rid of, but you can restructure 3 of them to save $42 million, which we have to do because we need 15 more guys and we need 4 safeties. We have no safeties on the roster. We got to do it.
Well, you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Another joke right there.
He's not on the roster next year. You got to re-sign him.
Adam Mason's face when DJ Moore is traded for Jeremiah Love. Straight up.
No, I don't accept it. I don't accept it. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. Trading DJ Moore for a first-round running back, I do not accept it. I would be pissed off. You'll see my face be pissed off for that. DJ Moore is so valuable to this team. Elite route running, elite separation.
You don't want to see DJ Moore win a Super Bowl in Buffalo?
No, I want to see him win a Super Bowl. What kind of stupid question is that? That's one of the stupidest questions I've ever heard in my life.
Hey, I got the chat.
No, Carl.
I got the chat logs. You can't spin zone me at this point, right? We're just having some shenanigans at this point. But what did I say? I said that I don't want Rome. OMG, I dropped the ball. Getting these targets taken away from DJ Moore anymore. I'm sick of it. So
we've got now. If you want me to be a Packers fan, we've got 5 wide receiver ones on this team, Carl. I think Rome and DJ will find a
little
balance.
Bait. Look at this bait.
Whereby I hate Packers fans. I really do. I really hate the Packers. DJ and Rome are going to find a balance here, and I think you're going to see Rome with 80 yards a game, DJ with 60 yards a game, and then some Kyle Monangai and some dump passes and Colston Loveland and even Luther Burden mixed in there. I think you'll see a good mixture coming, but it's just got a little more time to develop. It's still young. It's still got more time.
I'm sick of the way that DJ Moore is being utilized. But I agree with Ben Johnson's desire to put the ball in his hands with the idea of him getting yards after catch. I very much agree with that. But yeah. I think DJ Moore is very talented. I think that DJ Moore can catch the ball down the field as well. And I at the very least need it to be even targets between him and Rome at this point, because someone who is very bullish on Rome wanted Rome, and I watched Rome earn his stripes against Will Johnson in his loss to the 2023 national champion Michigan Wolverines. I watched Rome Odunze look very good with a very bad quarterback. So I had very high expectations. It started off good. The drops of this season have been consistent. Tried to look past them, said, oh, it's just law of averages. He'll come back up. It's not coming back up.
I got to clarify again. Carl keeps calling them drops. He hasn't had many drops this year. He has lost the contested catches that he was getting last year, and that is frustrating because his contested catches have been significantly weaker this year. It's frustrating, and I want to see him come back from it. Sometimes you have that sophomore slump. Sometimes teams adjust to you and see you as an elite wide receiver, and they game plan for you differently, just like they do with DJ every week. But when he has an opportunity to catch those contested catches, he's had a couple drops. I'm not saying he hasn't dropped a couple, but when he has a couple contested ones that he should be getting, you can't be losing those contested catches. That's what you were built off of. That's why you were drafted.
And the way I'll sign the episode off, Adam, once you start to scheme those wide receivers on the outside away and you start to pack the line of scrimmage because Kyle Monangai is a beast, that's when you've got them by the balls. You throw the ball deep to Luther Burden, who's back this week. So I want to see Luther Burden. Very, very proud. And no, I didn't take any gummies. I wish I did.
I was trigger happy, but that was a really good thought by you. I really like that thought. And as the run game is established more, they are gonna do that better, and they'll be able to cue these guys up.
We're still live?